Okay, I'm going to try my hand at making a YouTube video to hopefully impart what little knowledge I gained while I was trying to change the spark plugs on my 2010 Honda Insight EX. Now what I found is, first of all, if we pop this cover off, there we go. Let's grab the lights so you can see a little bit better here. We have the 4 easily accessible spark plugs here. It turns out when you go to the O'Reilly, you go to the store and ask, hey, can I get some spark plugs? And I recommend you buy 8 because there are 4 more back here behind. You can see, this video is going to be terrible. But you can see one of the coil packs here with the plug coming out of it. Hopefully you can make that out. This light's a little bit too bright, I think. I'm shining in the wrong, focusing on the wrong spot. But let's get a little closer. Yes, you can see the first one there, and there's 4 more. There's 3 more going down along the back line. Now this was quite difficult to get access to, as you can imagine. But I was able to, I tried removing some things to get back to it. But turns out what I found is that you don't really have to. So I've got a light back there. Hopefully it adds something. Move back here. Let's turn that light off so it's not blinding y'all. Alright, so move back here. Let's see what we can see. Alright. Drop the phone. Don't block it with your hand. Well, anyway, I'm going to hope you can see this back here, the 4 things. So there were operations that I found that worked out. So first things first, you can get access from the side right above the oil cap. So first things first, like I was saying, is you got to remove these plugs. There's one on each of them. They come off pretty easily for me. There you go, there's one. And then, like I said, you can get access here. And then go along. Do the next plug. I wonder if I'll be able to see it if I put it here. Hopefully you can see this and it's not just a bunch of nonsense. It's 2 plugs. This will be the 3rd one. I swear this is easier when I did it the first time. Yeah, now I'm really struggling, of course. Because I'd like to keep this brief. It's not going to do that for me. Do the last one. Now, where are you? I'm not far enough in. You gotta be over here. There's one. Did we do all 3? Oh, I skipped the second one. No wonder. Alright, so this came out. Now, one thing I was going to say is you notice this plug here, I tucked it, or I managed to tuck it underneath that. So this is the stupid thing I did when I was putting this back together the first time, is so I didn't realize it was there. And so I thought the second plug went to that one. Now I actually made it fit. Luckily I don't think I pulled out any of the wires, but just keep in mind if that gets tucked behind like that, you want to remove that. So now of course on the front again, we have the 4 bolts. There's 1, there's 2, 3, 4. This is 10 millimeter socket. So what I found that worked to get access to these back ones, surprisingly, was I had my 1/4-inch drive ratchet here with I think a 3-inch extension and then a shorter 6-sided 10 millimeter socket. So the first one's easy enough to get, and I think the basic way I went about this is I removed the extension, and I found it was surprisingly easy to kind of access back here by sticking my arm through this hole here. And I'd find the bolt I needed. And the one furthest away is, of course, the hardest one to get to. And by the way, the plugs, as I found, I think you need to remove them to be able to really get your socket on there. So, working on that. Don't know if you can see anything there. So I got that one in. And then, if I had my other hand, I'd then be able to go in, take the socket, plug it in, and pop it out. And that worked even for this last one, which I'm going to try to get and set up so you guys can see what that looked like. So let's see, feel back there. I did all sorts of things, like I set up a webcam back there so I could see what I was doing. Okay, so I got it on the bolt. Now where can I prop up this phone so y'all can see what I'm doing? Turn this off. Or am I gonna turn that off? Gosh, hope you're not getting motion sick, so if you are, my apologies. Yeah. I need to grab my light back here. No, I'm not showing you the backside anymore. We're going to set this guy up here. So we get a bit more light. Actually, no, better set it up right here. So you can see back what I'm actually doing. So again, you can reach in, you can just feel along until you find that bolt. I have a strong suspicion when I try to undo this, I'm going to knock my phone over. And then I'll never upload the video. All have been for nothing. So yeah, now I can slide this in. It provides me just enough clearance. Anything bigger than this little 10mm socket I had, I could not get in there. I bought a number of tools to try and get in there. Let's hold this again. Don't go anywhere, phone. Don't do it. It's trying to go. So there we go. Let's add some light and then shine in there. So you can see now I've got it on. And I think, of course, I think it's easier if you start, you go in order and end with this one. But since this one is the hardest one to get to, I was thinking, hey, let's start with this. And I think I have my ratchet going the wrong way. Come on, flip the switch. Nice. And after all that, I just took it off. Let's see if I do one-handed now with the ratchet in place. But this ended up working for me. A bigger extension than this did not work. I tried some 3/8" drive tools. I bought one of those carbon fiber bendable extensions. Get it a little loose, get it started. But yeah, the clearance there is too small. So this is the only thing I found that would work. And I guess I either didn't realize to try it or what, but when before I went and bought tools, but well, I didn't need those tools. It turns out I had exactly what I needed with that 3" extension on my ratchet. And so there's the bolt. We don't want to drop it. Place it up here. And then you just pop the coil pack out like so. Anyway, that's my advice. You can go through the other ones yourself. Just the same procedure. That's the hardest one. That one took me forever to figure out, so I'm hoping this will save somebody at least a little bit of time if they end up doing this themselves, but you're probably smarter than me and figure it out on your own. Anyway, with that, one other thing, sometimes I spend a lot of time trying to get, although now I realize I don't need it though, I spend a lot of time trying to get my hand underneath here, and it was a bit too fat, and I could shove it in there and it would be a bit painful. So keep that in mind if you're going to do that. But I think you can actually do the whole thing with just your one hand, just going around the side like this. Anyways, I'll stop it there, and hopefully this ends up being useful for somebody someday.